Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream from the Forever Bedrock realm, where we are over here at our one chunk base. I can't really do any work on the Horror Labyrinth on stream, but we have a ton of work we need to get done here as well. So this is actually a perfect opportunity to do that. So I thought we could have a nice chill stream, which I believe I forgot to, now that I think about it, I believe I forgot to change the name of the stream. I may need to do that. Yeah. So we're going to work on our one chunk base. We've got a lot of work to do on it still, and it would be nice to have this project getting done as well, since we can't really work on the Horror Labyrinth on camera, as far as from a live stream standpoint. And there we go. Proper stream name should work just fine for us. And let's finish grabbing this stuff in our inventory here. Let's get some andesite down there and some tough. And let's make our way all the way up. I'm not exactly sure. How's it going, Jonathan? I'm not exactly sure how far we were from the world height, but I mean, we have we have a shulker box with each type of block in it filled. So hopefully we can get up there. I mean, the biggest thing really is the stone, right? So I believe the scaffold goes to world height. It looks like we got a little ways to go, but no fear. We've got a little time, right? Throw a tough in there. I thought this is a nice little easy project that we can work on that goes with, you know, things that we need to get done, but at the same time would give us an opportunity to just kind of hang out. Oh man, I'm sure if what I have here isn't enough, I've got so many blocks from digging out for the Horror Labyrinth that I know I have way more than I need. It's just a matter of if it's here or there. I appreciate that though. Yeah, I would really like to get. I mean, I don't know if we can necessarily make it all the way up in this stream, but you know, it would be nice to possibly get a good little percentage to where there's very little left. I guess that kind of depends on me and how quick I am with it, and we know I'm not the quickest builder at all. So we'll see how that goes. So we've got with the last few live streams I've done being no commentary, there really hasn't been much of a communication line there. But what do you guys think about the new features that we've been, you know, notified about, such as the cherry blossom biome and archaeology? I think the archaeology concept was probably one of the bigger ones of things that have been more recently talked about. And I don't think I heard anything about a new about a cherry blossom biome until they announced that. So that was a nice surprise to get another new wood like that, and a new biome. You know, add a little bit more diversity to everything that Minecraft has to offer. And I mean, this game has changed so much in the last couple years. It's really amazing the amount of blocks that have been added. Don't necessarily love or hate any part of the update. Uh, that's that's how I feel about a lot of it. I think a lot of people were more excited about the archaeology stuff than I was. I mean, it's a cool concept, but I mean, maybe it's just because I'm not understanding how it can really add to my playstyle, I guess. It definitely be something different to do. Um, but anytime there's a new block, I mean, for me that's something to like. Unless it's just a color that I'm like, nah. And then it doesn't really matter so much. But I mean, for me, new blocks are pretty exciting thing to receive. Now, the armor trims, I think, is a really cool concept. Um, in theory, but I mean, some of them things are, going to be easier to find than others. And if you're looking for a particular design, then say it's something from a jungle temple, which means you can actually find something that would be useful from a jungle temple, right? um, if you're like 10,000 blocks away from a jungle, I don't see the average player being able to make that journey right out the gate in the game. And needing to go to a bastion to get your to be able to upgrade a netherite, I think is a big concern. Me personally, because of the brutes, I normally avoid the bastions, and at least until I have netherite armor. But I guess another way to look at that is would be to challenge myself to not wait to that point. Feel like I went a little texture heavy on that last run there. Yeah, again, I think the with the armor trims, I mean, it's cool that we'll get more uses out of some of the things that we have for sure. Um, but I mean, after the hype wears off from it, because the templates are so expensive, the harder to find ones. Um, I think eventually, like, really, a lot of people are just gonna not mess with them. Yeah, it's definitely geared. That's I haven't thought about it, but maybe that's pretty much what it is. The adventure update. I mean, as far as I know, we haven't been given a name, an actual name for it. But you're exactly right. That's pretty much what it seems like. Yeah, I got a few more andesite stacks. Oh yeah, the trim things being a wonder and trader. Yeah, that would. I'm I'm also hoping that he has the cherry blossom saplings uh, and several worlds. I mean, that's how I got the mangrove trees because the biomes are just so far out that I haven't found them, and I'm not really one to chunk base things. So, um, and once you've explored out so far, then like if you haven't found it, then it's a ways out there, like and I just don't necessarily think that having to go super super far for some of that stuff. Um, for me, it depends. If it's a world like say my Let's Play series, um, I typically honestly, if it's not like a ridiculous, if this stuff's not ridiculously priced, I'll buy pretty much anything that I don't have a farm for, or that's not, um, something that I can make a farm for or whatever. Like ice is a good one. You can make an ice farm, right? But at the same time, you have to put in the work for it. It's not something you can like AFK or whatever. So I do buy the packed ice. I think it is he has or whatever. Or if if I can find red sand or something like that that's not in abundance laying around. I did add this nifty little feature. Um, I've meant to add that quick pick on for so long and hadn't done it. And it should make life relatively much, much simpler by having that enabled. I mean, I think sand, back on that, I think sand is a good one to buy as well. Um, Saves you a lot of digging. And, over time, of course, and mending your tools and things like that. You can buy like tropical fish in a bucket from him and pufferfish in a bucket. I kind of wonder why he doesn't carry like buckets of tadpoles. Um, I mean, honestly, before they added dripstone, I probably would have bought buckets of lava from him if I seen that trade. I mean, in a more established world where you're just like you have more emeralds than you're ever gonna spend anyways, or if you have a raid farm producing emeralds, uh, in those situations, like, why not? It In the long run, it saves you so much grinding. I seem to be catching some lag. I don't know if it's my connection or if it's realms. I mean, we are on Bedrock Edition, and realms themselves are, you know, are what they are as well. Another lag spike. And let's see. Another lag spike. It's definitely not my internet connection. It's probably OBS now that I think about it. I haven't changed anything since I did the Windows update. Okay, you're not experiencing lag, so it's definitely not a Realms thing then. Or a Mojang thing. So, that eliminates the two notorious ones. So are you over there working on your base, or are you top secret project, or I know you do so many things that go unmentioned and by a lot of viewers probably unnoticed. No, just, I mean, I think, no, I definitely don't have more farms running than you. I mean, really, the only things I have that would be running right now would be the sheep farms. Oh, I do have the chicken farms down there, and I do have a lot of chickens ready for the harvest, we'll say. Quartz. Um, I'm not sure how much quartz I have. I know I don't have any over at the labyrinth, but I could always check and see what I have here if you need a if you need an large amount. I mean, I'm sure it's not a huge amount that I have, but it's quartz isn't something I'm gonna need for quite a while. I think at this rate, uh, so I could definitely come off of some of that to help you out, and it would be less for me to have to worry about moving later. All right. If you're not out and you have plenty to hold you over, if you don't make it this way, it's no big deal. I can always bring it to you at next chance I get. Cause when I get back on after streaming stuff and I'm off camera, I'll be over there working on hard mode of the horror labyrinth. I haven't really made too much. I haven't really made any progress over there all week. I'd like to hopefully over the next couple of days get a quite a bit in on that. There's just so much that I have to calculate and do that I don't want to be like I want to be able to do sections and not have to remember where I was at and what I was doing so that I don't end up with some kind of problems at the end of it. So I've just been kind of avoiding it instead of being able to, plug in 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. At least for the parts that I'm having to work on right now. I might be weird for that. I don't know. That's just one of my things. I find if it takes me more time to figure out what I was doing than it would have to just wait and do it, then to me it's just not worth that doing that couple minutes worth of work. Not for that, right? Not for that. Just weird in a way to fit in, right? I did catch that, right? Yes. Okay. That's perfect. Man, that's sure 228, and we're going to like 320 something now, I believe. So we definitely have a long ways to go. Man, used to be you could do a one chunk. I mean, unless you were doing like world height to world depth. I mean, it would still take a few days, but doing a one chunk base, even in that manner, like I am here, would go so much quicker. Maybe not by the time you did all the interior and everything, and I've kind of split all that up, and I've gotten some floors in and things like that. But it's definitely a lot more work than it used to be. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you have efficient and, you know, non super laggy farms, you can actually, I think you can fit pretty much everything you could possibly need in a starter base, in a starter area in a one chunk base, right? Um, Especially if you, I mean, honestly, I mean, we have the spider farm, but if you build a one chunk base, um, and say a chunk with a skeleton farm, oh man, that would be that would be ultimate right there. I mean, this here, I did uh, I just found a spot that looked good and kind of went with that. And I actually thought I would have like for some reason, for some unknown reason, I actually thought that I would have all this done and above ground, interior and all, before I finished the bottom layers, but that is definitely not what's going to happen. I don't think there's any way that this top's going to catch up to that bottom. And just because of the way that I've been working on it, because I tried to put the noisier things down low, and it's kind of like working on a theme of what do I need at the time as to which rooms we work on and everything. So we've gone down or worked our way from the bottom up, from the bedrock up, more so than we have from ground level up, and that's even with me being on this mountain here. So I'm not sure what that really says at the end of the day, but Andesite, 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 and get some tough in there. And adding the awnings and everything so that we don't have this. Yeah, that's all time consuming too. And I mean, some people can do that stuff so quick. I am not one of those people, and it's because of my inability to really build quickly that slows me down. Um, Maybe a lot of that's the texturing as I go or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could have probably popped that scaffolding up in the middle of each wall and just went through and popped in, the random little patches of texturing, and it would have been fine. But I don't think I would have gotten the heavy and the light areas and got quite the same look as what I'm looking for here. Um, and that's just based off of what I was, personally looking for, not necessarily what I needed. So at the end of the day, uh, really can only blame myself. But I find that trying to do, trying to achieve the look I'm going for here, I was doing it the other way at first, and man, and I do believe, oh, okay, I just don't have any blocks left in there. I do believe that doing it this way is just quicker for me in this situation. And there he is. Are you are you here for anything particular or just saying hi? I mean, you could probably die from this height even with feather falling 4. I know you don't appreciate Fred being on your heels. Oh, oh, man. Definitely need to. Woo. Gotta crouch. I'll be off this thing in a heartbeat. Came for the court, stayed for the entertainment. Did you have trouble finding the courts? I only have the one storage room, and I honestly couldn't tell you where to look. But hmm. But I know there's some. Uh, Again, I'm just not exactly sure where. Most of my chests are organized to an extent. I think they have lost organization as I started running out of room for things and just started looking for other places to put them. And I haven't really been over here to take the time to go back through and reorganize them. Solango! Was it at least enough to make it worth the trip? Because I honestly have no idea how much I had. I think it's just one of them things like mending up tools or getting levels to re-enchant gear after losing it. Um, about 2 stacks. Well, that's even less than I thought. Makes me wonder if I have some hidden somewhere else that I'm not thinking of at the moment. And I only say hidden because I didn't put them where I'd remember, apparently. Yeah, this is definitely one of them things where I'm like, I want to try and put as big of a dent in it as I can, but also at the same time, like, regardless the number of blocks I have on me, I'm only gonna get so far in so much time. I feel like I've been texturing pretty heavy in too much of an area. I think it works though. Um, the texturing is definitely something that slows you down, but compared to having to come back and take out 70% of your walls. Oh, oh yeah. Like I said, I honestly right now between the one chunk base and the horror labyrinth, I have no use for it. I literally wasn't joking by when I invited you to it. If you can put it to use, then there's no point in it sitting in my chest. Like I said, I can always get more when I do get to the point to where I have some use for it. I mean, I've thought about trying to add it into the base here, and the conclusion I've come to with what had planned, and I mean, and some of those plans have changed since I started on this project too. It just if I manage to fit any in, it's going to be such a small amount that I can just literally go to the trading hall and get it in like one quick go. Just topping off, mending on some tools or something. And as far as that goes, is quartz the only block you're really needing? Uh, I don't know what I have here in the way of these other blocks, but man, I've got I've got a ton of blocks over at the horror labyrinth. Not really a lot of deep slate, because that's a pretty deep slate heavy project. I actually had to go just straight up deep slate mining to get what I got over there now for that. But I mean, stones, cobblestone, granite. I use very little granite and diorite. Um, it looks like I left a peeky hole. I don't know what I'm gonna peek out at. Yeah, I'll have. I should have enough deep slate to hold me over till I go digging into it over at the labyrinth. I didn't really want to dig up a whole lot here to take over there, knowing that I was going to be digging up more. But I just had an area that I wanted to do some more work on and in my mining zone. Oh, I had so many times thought about taking stuff just over to the one storage area that's over in the shopping district, and I always say, that's a good way to get, this odd end stuff that I don't really need that somebody might be able to use. Uh, and I always forget to do it. I'll have to make like a spring cleaning list for the realm for myself. I know that sounds sad, right? Okay, so the only tough I had over here was in that shulker, so I do have less of it than the other stuff, but really it's I mean, well, even with all the heavy texturing through here, like I don't I'm gonna use like one choker of the tough to like five chokers of the stone minimum. I mean, or maximum. Like it's just not the primary block. But I don't know what it is about the texture either. It's just I thought for oh, that's a good idea. But I was thinking of organizing that area when I took my stuff over, to make sure that like things were together and stuff. Like I was gonna make a whole ordeal about it, just so that because I know was it? I want to say Fred had went over there looking for stuff not long ago that he needed, and I was like, and that's when it dawned on me that I should be taking stuff over there again. That was the last time I had thought about it until you had just mentioned it. Because, like I said, every time I'm thinking about it, I forget. And that's when I was. He said something about whoever. I'm pretty sure it was Fred. I said something about it being a little more organized, or things that were more useful being to the front or something like that. And that's when I had thought, well, if I organized it instead of just, it wouldn't be near as bad as I would make it otherwise. But you're right, just making like your own little community storage area to start with or whatever. Yeah, probably probably a lot less work and easier at this point in the realm's life, right? I had thought about when I'm not able to do anything on here for whatever reason on the one chunk base, if I'm doing stuff that I can't necessarily stream for the horror labyrinth, because I mean there's a lot of work to go into that still. Like I'm positive that this one chunk base will be done before nightmare mode is on that. Um, but I think I had considered possibly going around and trying to clean up the realm a little bit over here in this area. Chests and things that are laying around. I mean, I figure at this point, if I mean, I could find out who this stuff belongs to. Maybe take it to them, ask them, what they want to do or whatever with it. If it's people that aren't even here anymore, just putting it in the, you know, community storage area. And I don't know how much that little bit of cleanup would help, but I do know chests are horrible for frame rates. On Bedrock Edition, at least. And that matter, I'm not sure if barrels are really any better. I haven't really looked into it. Oh, there is a community storage area in the temple, huh? That would be a good place to take it then, as a drop off spot. Unless I just, yeah, that would be a good place to take it for a drop off spot, just because of new members. Unless we were to like deliberately move everything like to the new area. But even though we can basically have unlimited shulkers right now, uh, you're still limited to. Ooh, I don't have any more andesite out. You're still limited to however many shulkers you can carry in your ender chest and on you, right? So with with server type storage, yeah, that's just it. I don't know how long that it would take forever, probably with that kind of distance. But if that was a thing that we did or I did, um, cataloging what was there just so that I can post it in the Discord so people know, hey, if I go back to spawn, this is there. Uh, unless somebody else is beating me to it. It wouldn't necessarily be the craziest idea, I don't think. Especially for the bigger projects where you need a ton of whatever. Like right now, I've been, man, I think I have like a huge abundance of copper again. I mean, I didn't put a whole lot at K Dog's base to begin with, um, but even still, for somebody who's not been, using it or necessarily trying to collect it, I've I've picked up quite a lot of it. Oh, did I only go up 2 layers this time? That's why I'm like, okay. Oh, I do. I have heard about the plans to go back over there many times, or over here. So that's where I'm at. And I didn't think about it in that moment, but yeah. So it would make sense for it to stay in this area so that you're not having to bring stuff back with you to an area where it already was to begin with, anyways. And I mean, as far as my base goes, um, obviously my deep slate's like valuable to me at the moment, and the stones I'm using, uh, not even stone, just I think the andesite and the tough are like the rare things for me, um, for this project. But other than that, as far as blocks go, man, uh, I have blocks over here that I'm not gonna use in this area. I'm not even sure how much of the glass I'll use. I'm not sure. I mean, once you get to a certain point, are windows a necessity? I mean, I guess it would be cool to have, hey, there's a window, but like if I was in a room right here looking out the window, even if it was like a floor window where I could get to it like this, or actually I would be, yeah, I would be like right here, like look, unless I see one of y'all flying by or something, like what good would that window do me? Um, so I haven't really decided if I'm going to necessarily include windows all the way up, though I would like to continue on with what I have planned for the outside here. I apologize if the baby is heard in the background. She's gotten very very talkative the last couple days, and just so playful. Uh, well, as playful as a 5-month old can be. And I don't know, Jonathan, if you had seen my goodbye 2022, hello 2023 video. I think's what I ended up calling it. But I did mention in there about giving YouTube a chance on the streaming side, and I know that's where you guys all stream when you do stream. So I'm trying to figure out a good time for that, and by doing the no commentary streams on here, it does allow me to get in, some. Oh my goodness, how did I miss that? It does allow me to get in some extra content for people to watch that are interested while working on my videos. Because even though I'm not outputting audio on the stream, I can still record, for my video. And it just it allows me to be able to get more streaming in because of the home situation and things like that. Everybody with babies in the house know what that's like. But I would like to try and get out from that as well. The no commentary videos, I feel like the relaxing long plays are nice. I'm just not so sure about the streams. I mean, and it's not that I think they're you know it's no way that it's not a way to stream, because I've seen plenty of streams with no commentary. And if you're watching, a stream in a language that you don't know, no commentary is not going to be an issue, anyways. At the end of the day, but I don't know. For me personally, I like the ability to uh, communicate with the community and the people, joining the streams and stuff like that. And I mean, I guess I could do that through the chat box. Uh, and I think for Twitch that would be all right. But on YouTube, that's not something that I would want to do. Like I would need to know, I can record without any issues and be able to have audio. And so I'm kind of thinking Sunday evenings. I normally do my streams on Twitch, but I'm kind of thinking of if I, you know, do the YouTube thing on the regular. Um, I may use the Sunday slot for that. And sometimes, I have time that I could stream, kind of. But, when you're doing off camera stuff, uh, normally, it's like you know, people want to hang out or whatever, they can watch me reorganize my storage room if they want to. No big deal. We can hang out, have fun. But with the horror labyrinth, I don't really have that option because just because of you know I I'm trying to make sure that I'm putting out content that everybody on the realm can watch if they want and not have to worry about spoilers or anything like that. Um, so that kind of kills being able to do any off-camera work there on stream, unless it's as far as inside that them areas themselves. Now, once I get a little bit deeper in, where you can't necessarily tell where we're at or how to get there or where it's going, I may be able to squeeze in some stream stuff there, working on some of the components just to help give you guys a better idea than I could probably explain about um, what to look forward to and um, how to devise your strategy going in, I guess would be a way to say it. I need some of my coffee. I can talk all day and have no problems. But you hit that record button and your throat goes dry. I have not understood that. But it's the same with math. Like, I can shoot numbers out like nobody's business and turn the camera on and it's what? Oh. Yeah, it's. Oh, that's got a little bit of a pattern look there. But it's just that one spot. And in the grand scheme of things, if that's an issue and I'm not happy with the way it looks, I can always pop a few blocks out and change them when we get to them floors. And I mean, honestly, now that I say that, I kind of wonder if texturing instead of like coming back and texturing it all at one time. If I had textured as we did the individual floors before I did the interior walls or whatever, um, if that would have necessarily been easier and quicker in the long run. Because it would be broken up, so it wouldn't necessarily be all at one time. Oh, that's a long message. Let me scroll up. One thing to consider is that your viewers on YouTube are divided into several groups. You have people, oops, who just view one form of content, shorts, videos, and streams, and also some who watch a combination of the three. Oh yeah, that's definitely been, that is one of the reasons I haven't streamed yet, or just straight up said yes, my Sunday slots where I stream, I'm gonna do that on YouTube, because I don't have a streaming audience there at all, because I haven't. And so it's gonna be one of them things where I think I either pop up a poll and ask, um, you know, about it, or I just kind of do some streams and see how they go. Um, I could possibly, right? Like I have no idea if I have a streaming audience there. Exactly. So there's things to consider, and I know that some of the people watching this right now are not this particular moment per se, uh, but this stream here on Twitch, while it's on demand, aren't necessarily all English speaking, and they're in different parts of the world, so times and stuff like that don't necessarily line up, and the video on demand's only 7 days here. But if I'm not mistaken, if you go live on YouTube, um, and this is something you could actually answer for me, that took me some research. When you go live on YouTube, doesn't it stay in the live tab, like, unless you remove it? Or does it stay there for X amount of time? Ooh, am I out of stone again? That's what I thought. And that's honestly one of the appeals to it for me, because if it saves it, then the guy who only gets 1 day a week to watch it, or whoever, um, an individual who only gets the 1 day a week to watch it has something going on this week and can't catch it. Obviously, they never get to catch it live because of time differences. Um, has something going on this week, so they miss it, and next week when they get that day, it's gone. Right now, how many people can fit that description? In the long term. So we're not necessarily talking just the dozens right now, but long term solutions here, that could fit the description of a lot of people pretty regularly. Life happens. I mean, as content creators, we know that. Like, if we could, you know, have our schedules line up and everything work out exactly how we want on a regular basis with no problems, we'd be pretty happy, right? But just it doesn't work out that way. Um, I mean, it may be a little bit easier if you're doing this full time, If you're, but when you're working your 9 to 5 and doing the content creation, unless you're Freb who doesn't sleep, you're limited on time, so you can only get so much done, and weeks differ. So if I could go to that live tab and watch it anytime, well, I couldn't watch it this week. Guess what? Like, if I really want to watch it, I'm gonna remember it's there. Or if I'm a big fan of that, 10-second power naps the last 8 hours. That's pretty much me, except for the 8 hour part. Yeah, I never get that much sleep. It would be nice, but yeah, doesn't happen. At least not without interruption. Sometimes I have to try a couple times and I can get it. But yeah, I like the idea of being able to, because me as a viewer, I could benefit from being able to go back. Okay, there was a block there. I'm crazy. I could benefit from the ability of being able to go back and watch at a later date. And if it's something I want to see, I'm going to watch it. Block pick. It's working amazing for me, and I do appreciate you taking the time to remind me dozens of times to enable it because of the amount of time it has saved me in just recent weeks. Like, and you were right, especially on these bigger projects. Like, it it's basically a must. Like, I could have saved so many hours inevitably on projects. And sometimes you go clicking it a couple times and then you're like, oh yeah, it's not that I didn't click it, it's that I'm actually out of blocks in my inventory and I need to pull out the shulker. But that's not to take away from how much it actually helps. I think we've gotten like around this thing like 10 times because we've gone, or no, not 10 times, like 3 times. No, I don't know how many times. We've gone up like 30 levels. So, yeah, like 10 times. We've made it around that thing. And I want to check, but I'm pretty sure it's like 322, 325. Is it 309? No, it's not. So I ran out of scaffolding right there or something. $320. So we're less than 100 blocks away from world height. That's a good feeling. Yeah, those past streams are, yeah. Um, so, yeah, especially if it's a creator that you enjoy watching. Um, I mean, I've gone back and watched your guys' live streams from a ways back. And yeah, when you got live streams on in the background, it does help give you. Oh man, making myself nervous. Backing it on up. Oh, okay, so I was not crouching. I got brave. Alright, we got some thicker areas. Now it's time to thin out again. And I think, even though we're actually going to go through a lot more stone, um, these last 100 blocks, because of what we're going to have on it up here, I think the thinner texturing is actually going to come in handy anyways at this point. And like I said, we can always adjust floor by floor later when we get to a floor if there's anything that we're worried about. Oh, I'm trying to walk off of a block while I'm crouched. And that's why I was crouched, so that I don't accidentally do those things. Okay, so it's a little harder to keep up with chat. When I do mega builds, all I need in the background is some Hall and Oates. I'm sure there's something to that I am not getting, and I should be. A lot to consider. My thought has always been to build an audience on one platform at a time. However, having the content divided could improve your chances of discoverability. That's kind of how I've looked at it too. Two platforms, discoverability, and some people only use one platform or the other. I think, from my understanding, YouTube has come a long way compared to where they used to be with streaming and stuff. But I also know that you're still in competition with these what I would you call them, stream bots? Like, I see advertisements all the time. Use your old videos to live stream 24/7 and grow your audience. Let us help you with this, whatever. And I've seen more than one company name on that. And I don't know the specifics on them things or whatever, but I do know that there are channels that live stream 24 hours and stuff like that. So, I mean, the competition would be a little different on YouTube, I think, than on Twitch. However, I do have a larger audience on YouTube. Um, and again, that also comes back to what you were saying. How many people watch the live streams? How many people watch this kind of video and that kind of video? And I get, I've been testing it actually by placing the Twitch streams over on the channel and seeing, and sometimes, and this is how I've been testing it. I'm sure you've seen them. I use a very generic thumbnail with like the Forever Bedrock logo or the Minecraft Survival Let's Play series logo. Like very not impressive thumbnails. That way it's not like, okay, well, this stream had a better thumbnail than that one, and that's probably why it got more views. None of that kind of stuff, just to see. And I've gotten a mixed reaction. Like some of the streams are watched fairly well, nearly as well as my videos, and some of them barely get hit. So it's one of them things. It's pre-recorded. Again, you could use the live tab and find it later. So instead of having to transfer it over to that platform, for the people who don't use Twitch to be able to watch it, I could do it all in one place. However, then my Twitch viewers kind of get left, in the dust on those streams as well. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. But, yeah, I think it's worth doing or giving it a go, at least for a little bit. And it's not like I'm making a lifelong commitment. Could dual stream. Well, you have pretty much the same processing. Your computer pretty much has the same specs as mine. Do you think that it's equipped to handle that, or do I need to upgrade first? Or have you upgraded since I got my computer and we were talking about the specs on them? Yeah, I mean, it possibly could. I mean, my CPU is only 13%. So it definitely possibly could. And actually, yeah, I'm sure I could do that. I think I don't really think it would be that much more strain to where it would cause problems. The highest I ever seen my CPU usage get while I'm streaming is up to 15.8%. I stay locked in on the 60 FPS, which I think that's like the limit for OBS, or at least I haven't figured out how to get it to go up. Right. Yeah. um, as you grow, it could definitely become a problem, but that's when you have to be like, hey, um, we've come to a point where dual streaming is too hard to keep up with chat from both. So this night we're doing this stream, and that night we're doing this one. Oh yeah, see, there you go. You could do, yeah. There's a lot of things. You've really put a lot of thought into it. I can tell. Huh? Have you considered streaming Twitch or no? But you could definitely try it on both and see which is more popular and just go with that one. You're right. It sounds like you've thought about everything, to be honest. And that's not even trying to pat you on the back or anything. Just you've brought up a lot of the points I've thought of, and some I haven't. But now you know why I've been posting the generic thumbnails to the streams. It wasn't just out of laziness to find a thumbnail, it was on purpose. And one of the things I've been thinking about is, again, and I know I mentioned this like way back when I joined, and or maybe it wasn't that far back, really. Maybe it's quite more recent than that. I can't really remember, but um, remember me bringing up about a possible like stream weekend or something like that, or where we kind of um, do some back-to-back streams from one of us to the next, whatever kind of scenarios for the Forever Bedrock fans. And I can't remember exactly how that conversation went, other than it probably had something to do with times and um, right now, just life for a bunch of us is being what it is, and the cards that we're playing, um, being able to get that audio time and whatnot. Um, Case Creation's been dealing with sickness after sickness, and that's really, I think, I mean, it hasn't hurt their progress on getting things done at all. Uh, well, at least not much. But man, when you want to make videos and you're like, well, I guess I can't make a video because I can't talk. Yeah, that does make it rough. And them newer style videos that Dan's been putting together and putting out there, like I'm into those. Like I think that might be something that becomes a popular way of doing it. I mean, I think the YouTube shorts are really just opening up a whole world of creativity and how we as creators get our content out there and how viewers are going to receive it. Um, some of that stuff a few years ago wouldn't have flew like it would now, at the end of the day. And I think the way people receive things changing like it has and will is going to be very beneficial to a lot of us. Oh, was I missing two there? Interesting. Yeah, I got a little bit of a late start this evening. Unfortunately. I mean, we are getting so close to finishing this thing off um, at world height. I think the only thing that's going to hold me back at this moment is I'm going to have to run over to grab some more stone. Yeah, the no commentary ones, that's the thing. Like, a lot of us just are in them positions where it's kind of hard to. I mean, it's either you can't, get out there and give the viewers content, or you have to just kind of go with the no commentary, even if you don't want to. And I mean, there, to me, there's no commentary streams that I completely enjoy. Um, Now, depending, you were talking about having them on in the background while you're working and grinding and stuff, right? This is one of those streams the stream I'm doing right now is one of them streams I could totally do that with. If it was no commentary, even nice, easy to follow, no issues. Um, Now, say we're doing some end raiding or exploring or something, caving. Man, I that kind of stuff. I want to be able to like watch because I know the second I'm over here placing my blocks and making sure I've got them in my inventory or I'm fighting off this creeper that that's when I'm missing whatever. And by time I realize I've missed it, if it's like, do I already know what's going on now, so it's not even worth rewinding to watch it, unless it's one of them crazy situations that you just have to see. So it's the initial, man, I can't believe I missed that. And even though you have the ability to go back, you're just, I don't know, I don't. So for me, it kind of depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something while I'm watching, but I mean, I could sit down with a good no commentary stream and watch it with no problem. And I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that do enjoy it. I mean, you got them no commentary let's plays that are just as long as streams, and they get good views. I like I said, I watch some of those myself even. Uh, so that don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And again, like my audience is different than your audience, and my personal opinions are different than some other people's. But I mean, unless you see that it's not helping you at all, um, yeah, I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. I would do no comments. I mean, I've been doing them and I've gotten positive feedback. I think the low numbers that I sometimes get, well, lower than others. I think those are just, maybe because they do see the same thumbnail, so they're thinking, oh, I've already seen that one, or they're just not in the mood to watch a stream, and whatever the case may be. But you're diehard fans, um, like me. I mean, I'm gonna watch your guys' streams even if I can't get to it until next week. Um, I'm gonna watch it at some point, one way or another. Uh, because I enjoy your content and what you guys do. But you're also talking to someone who's like a couple days behind on videos because I watch all the Hermits. And I mean, I had to say the TCG. I can't watch those videos. Like, it's kind of fun watching them play and everything, but I can't watch the same game from two different perspectives. And you know, this person is playing like 12 games this week, and there's just no way I would ever be able to see anything other than the TCG content. So I mean, I kind of had to stop watching that, and not even because I don't find it interesting, just because I'm falling behind on all the other videos and stuff. Now I think that's one of them things that um, if there's gonna be fans out there that are gonna make a playlist of those, and I'm gonna come across it, and that'll be like the playlist that I work on when I have extra time. Yeah, it the whole time he was creating the game, I was like, gosh, he's really and he's really doing it. And um, every time you think, okay, he's got some pretty, it's pretty inspirational. He's got some good stuff going in here, and he would show something else that he'd done that made the game that much better. And I was just like, oh, I gotta see this. But the Hermits are as addicted to it as I am watching it, so it's just a lot. And like I said, if nobody makes a playlist, if there's not like a fan based playlist out there of this stuff, come the end of the season, if not before, when I have the extra time and I'm looking for those to watch, man, I'll definitely make my own. Uh, just because I mean it is fun to watch, but it is very time consuming. Like they're all talking about, well, I got like 9 hours worth of footage to edit down, and that's just from the card game. That's not from building this massive cathedral over here. It's just from the card game. That footage over there, that's nothing. It only took me 22 hours to build that thing. And you're not even necessarily editing that. You're just putting it in ramping up the speed on it and making it a time lapse. So yeah, I give a lot of credit to Vintage Beef uh, for what he's done with that game. Like, it's really impressive. And I just started watching Hermitcraft last season, so when they started talking about Tango's decked out and everything, I was like, okay, this sounds pretty cool. I mean, last season he made the zombie bumper boats or whatever, and that was pretty cool. And I don't know, it was like made some other stuff that you know. So I'm like, Tango Tech's got some stuff going on. But then again, like the more I see him do with decked out, I'm like, man, um, I so wanna take this and there's no way. Um, Straight up, there's no way I could put that kind of work into the horror labyrinth and get done with it ever. Like we'll never play because I'll just always be working on it. Um, but this is you know my first time doing something like the horror labyrinth, and I'm learning a lot about it. So next time I go to do this, there's gonna be tips and tricks that I know, and I'll learn a lot from us playing it on how I can improve it for the next time or whatever. And obviously, we're not in Java Edition. There's just some aspects of awesomeness that Tango has and decked out that you could just never get on Bedrock Edition, ever. And he's also way advanced in Redstone, and I know just enough to make stuff work. If I was to try and do some of that stuff he does on there and figure out how to make it work in Bedrock Edition, I would spend like a whole season just working on the redstone, and and again that would we wouldn't get to play. So sacrifices are made so that it's not like a forever project, unfortunately. But I mean, even still, um, for the caliber of what it is and what I'm after, I'm really looking forward to playing that and running that labyrinth, and just all in all trying to see how much fun I can have with it. And hopefully you guys, hopefully it comes out the way I'm expecting and you guys enjoy it too, at the end of the day, because no way I would go through that much work for my own entertainment. um, at least not on this realm, you know what I mean. There are so many other things I could do for that. uh, that's where a lot of my stone's going right there. I mean, misplacing and having to break it. That's not really a lot of it. I've done that too, but it did sound good. Uh, yeah, there we go. Whoa. I'm not entirely sure what I just seen on my screen. Man, I'm thinking less than 60. That's 6 runs around this thing from the top. And that's That's not too bad at all. Oh, please tell me. Okay, I do have my elytra on. I mean, I probably should have checked before I jumped. But, yeah, after you jump, it's a little late to worry about it. It's a long drift down. Yeah, I think, I still have more stone here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. I am pretty sure that I have enough already here to complete this. Without having to bring any over from the horror labyrinth. Let's see. Plenty of andesite, plenty of tough, plenty of cobble. Yeah, plenty of cobble. And oh yeah, that's, I'll grab some of this, but definitely plenty of stone here to get that thing up to world height. Unfortunately, I've run out of time for tonight's stream, and we made it really close. Uh, Again, what were we? We're not that far off. We're very close. Maybe the next stream, I do should be on here, and we should be able to finish that off, and maybe even if I can get some audio or whatever, we'll do some interiors here. I'd like to let's let's take the stairs instead of peeking around the corner like that. See that thing right there? That's the spider spawner. It's so pretty much level with here. I mean, we can actually see the floor, but I mean, we can see that from up there now, which is, whoa. Kids, do not try this at home. Just the fact that from this floor we can see that up there, that's how far, I mean, negative 35, but I mean, we've got several layers going down, just like we do going up now, and I mean, we've got a lot more to fill up there than we do down here, but I'm kind of been really focusing on this area down here, and I would like to get some more done down here up to the point of that spider spawner for a particular reason. And that's, I mean, man, we have a wool farm now, you know, it's not like we need a lot of wool, but that string could come in so handy for so many things in the future. And here, you can have that. I'll take that. So, you know, I mean, it's not like a priority, but, you know, I would like to get up to that sooner than later. We'll definitely be up here to our storage room before we get up to the world height at the top, uh, going up that way. And again, like, I mean, we got like our farming type stuff going down there. And if you take a look here, storage, right? Kind of like the cap off of that area. Up here we have our foyer, or whatever you want to call it, our main entrance. You come up the stairs, you have our nether room, which is technically right below our bedroom, where we also have a handy dandy little entrance and exit. Um, so there's reasons things have been planned out the way they have, just so that, convenience factors. I come flying in or flying out. My nether portal's literally close. My storage is right there above all the farms and everything. Now we have our work area basically here. And I mean, we've got, yeah, I mean, we've got stuff going on here. Let's go ahead and cook some chicken. I don't know why I grabbed 3, because we do have 4 smokers. This is gonna be one of the find-a-foods from the horror labyrinth. Is why we have chicken here. But we have storage space here that kind of goes with these workstations. And I thought the barrels were perfect. I like the way they look with the buttons in between the, it's just extra details because of the black stripes on the barrels and everything. And, I mean, this is sufficient enough for what we've got going on in this area. If we ever need to AFK for stuff, like, a chunk is from world height to world depths. So we could be in our one chunk base and AFK and all of our farms be running, right? Or say I need to do something, make a bunch of potions. I mean, unless I have an auto potion thing somewhere, which I don't think I'm going to get to in this world. This is... we can come over here, brew up some potions. While we're brewing up potions and waiting, our farms are producing whatever it is that we're needing down there with all that goodness. And we can throw it in storage or move it out to the new area with us. But ultimately, at the end of the day, once everything is done in this base, the storage down here, if I can get back down here real quick, this isn't for... the blocks, and I don't want to look poor. It's not necessarily for the blocks and stuff that I have in it now, or the woods, or potions, and probably keep some of the mending books and some of the some of these tools and stuff will stay. Maybe some ender pearls, not all that I have, but some, and I don't know how much ores I'll leave over here. I should really have an ore shulker, and that should be sufficient enough. If I have an ore shulker in my ender chest, if I need anything while I'm not at the new base over in the new area, then I can do whatever with what I have on me, and it should be sufficient enough. We've got all these beds that we can still go bed mining with. I forgot. Alright. So we got like, you got 9 there. That's 18 netherite ingots and a scrap. Now, this is my question for anybody who's watching this, and this will obviously be put over on YouTube. Now, in the horror labyrinth, should also add netherite scraps to what we got going on over there. I mean, we're gonna have the ingots. Should we have the scraps in there too for them to use points on those? Um, Let me know what you guys think about that. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to tune in and watch this, whether it's live or VOD. From the bottom of my heart, thank each and every one of you. And I enjoy hanging out with you guys here in the live stream. We've had a very active session here with the chat and everything, and that really warms my heart to see that. Several people are interested in what's going on and had the time to be able to pop in and say hello. And don't forget to go check out the other Forever Bedrock members. I mean, again, before I was a member of the realm, I was watching these guys because I truly believe in their content. They're small channels, but I mean, they do amazing things. Be sure to send them your love and support, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next video.